Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I went to that auto store, but they said they couldn't get in the car to put a computer on it. Um, they said they can give me the cables to hook it up and they'll test it from the outside, but they can't do it due to their protocol for COVID. They're not allowed to go in anybody's car now and all this stuff. I told them I wasn't mad at them. That's their protocol. That's their protocol. There's some air in here. But anyway, it is what it is. So anyway, speaking of black women, I just love them. You know, I've experimented outside, and I do say experimented. I have never dated outside of my race, but I have experimented outside of my race. Meaning, just what I mean, being with women of other nationalities and stuff like that. But I just love black women, and I mean, truly, my mother was a black woman. My grandmother was a black woman on my mom's side. She was mulatto, all these different categories, man, whatever, how they label people and stuff. But, my dad's side, my grandmother, his mother was super chocolate, very smooth. One thing about chocolate women, they got the most smoothest complexions. Most of them, I mean, smooth. Some of them had a little dark areas and stuff like that. That's on all complexions, but I mean, smooth, man. But my grandmother, her skin was like that. My dad's mom, and my grandfather, he was light, little light complexion and stuff like that. And his mother was part Native American, which really we are the Native Americans, but part Asian Native American and black. And he showed me a picture of her too. It's like he was telling the truth, because that's exactly what she looked like. So anyway, I just love them, my daughter, I cherish my daughter. My daughter, man, when my daughter was born, boy, I was like happiest day of my life. And my son too, but my son is like, yeah, it's my son, but my daughter's like, oh, that's my baby girl. You know what I'm saying? So there's a difference. Both the love and is equal in a relationship. Now, I'm blessed, man. I have some beautiful children. I'm not getting off the subject, but man, my children, they got the most kindest hearts. I'm just blessed. They ain't out, I hear horror stories about, these people, their children, they children be out in the drugs, and I've seen it, drugs and being locked up and stuff like that because of this, that, and the other. I'm blessed, man. But my daughter, she's beautiful, man. She has a beautiful light complexion. And then like when the summertime comes, it's just like my mom was like light complexion, and she used to get orange. Some people tan, they get tan. She gets to get a tanned orange. And beautiful complexion. My daughter, she gets like a tanned orange too. Like it's like it's a beautiful complexion. And I mean, our women come in all different variations. It's like the spectrum. You know what a spectrum look like? Well, it's like the spectrum. Spectrum has different colors. The spectrum is basically different vibrational frequency, not frequency, but vibrational levels of light. And that's how women our race are. We just have, black men are so lucky. We have such a variety. But unfortunately, in this country, America, which I love this country. I love this country because this is my country. You know, I'm not no African American. I don't consider myself as an African American because I'm not African. You know, I'm a Native American of this land. I was born here. You know what I'm saying? I was born here. So I don't like the, you know, Jesse Jackson and a couple of other high-ranking, so-called high-ranking blacks back in the day, you know, decided to come up with that name for our people. Nobody sent me a survey. I don't recall my parents receiving a survey. They never said nothing about it, you know. But anyway, getting back to our black women, they can be challenging sometimes. Woo, boy. Boy. You know, but, you know, I love them, though. You know, I have people in my family. I have a couple of people in my family, men, you know, that don't, you know, well, I haven't, you know, they don't have any more dealings with black women. They deal outside of the race. And particularly one of them. And, you know, that's his preference, you know. I mean, he still deals with a black woman here, and, you know, he has, you know, but, you know, his preference. Because, you know, he said to me, he said one day, he said, you know, I love black women. I love the relationship with them, but I just can't do it. It just seems like they're just so angry all the time. That's interesting. So that's his experience, you know. I have dealt with women like that, black women, but, you know, as all in all, I've, you know, discontinued dealing with them. And then he just like, you know what, I just had it, you know. But no, to be fair with him, he will deal with a black woman that has a conscious mind, that's deep. You know what I'm saying? When I say deep, that's that a black woman that's aware of who she really is, because he's dealing with one like that. You know, and they've been friends for years. They've known each other for years. So he hasn't completely cut out black women. So I'm just gonna have to, you know, correct myself on that. So I have to be fair to him. He is still dealing with a black woman, but she's just not like any black woman mind-wise. She's heavy, man. I mean, she's really heavy. Now, when I say heavy, I'm not talking about heavy as, you know, as far as, you know, as far as conventional education, you know, is concerned. I'm talking about she's heavy as far as knowing who she is, her spirituality, who she is as a black woman. I mean, she goes deep. You know, she's into the holistic stuff. She's into nature. You know, and she doesn't look her age. She doesn't put all this junk in her body, you know, all these poisons and stuff like that. She wears her hair natural. You know, so I mean, you know, to be fair, he does. But then I got another family member. He's like, his whole total his opinion on black women is like, you know,